Monique is joyful. Monique is joyful. Welcome to Monique is joyful. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Monique, and thank you for tuning in with me today, coming back to visit me today at Monique is Joyful. Please hit that like and subscribe and share. Today, I'm coming to you with a mukbang. And the mukbang that what I'll be eating today is going to be a salad. A salad I made myself, which features some turkey, some cheddar cheese, and some spinach and some grapes, okay? And it's in my little bowl. It's not all the way full. It looks a little messy right now. This is not, look, I'm hungry, so we're going to get into the talk, guys. How are you doing? Like, are you feeling good today, guys? I'm feeling great. I'm feeling blessed, feeling hungry, which is why I have made my salad. And I'm like, excuse my bracelets. I made my salad so I could sit here and eat and talk with you guys today. Now, if you're a parent, do you have children that's back in school today? Or that's been in school for a while? How is that going? Are you doing homeschooling? Are you doing internet online schooling? Or are your children going back to school? And how do you feel about that? Comment on that. I want to know, like, are you doing the hands-on homeschooling yourself? Or if you are a teenager or a child that's old enough to get on the internet yourself by yourself and do your work, how is that going, guys? Do you miss your friends? How is everything with that? Well, my son just went back to school on Tuesday, because Monday was Labor Day. So yeah, he's just started. Yesterday was his first day, and it's going pretty good so far. So what I want to talk about today is just like what I've been up to. I've been trying to think of topics, like what do I want to talk about during my mukbang. But hold on, let me just get a bite of this. This is my first food of the day. You know how look, guys, let me get my water. My water. I'm a foodie, okay? This round face didn't come from nowhere. I likes to eat, okay? I like to get my grub on, okay? I'm trying to, I as round as my face is, guys, I just have an actually round face anyway. But, you know, I used to be a thinner young lady. And I was thinner even when I had my last son. But, you know, weight loss is interesting, you know, to say the least. But I still exercise. I'm not as consistent as I need to be. So I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to try to record some of that with you guys, and maybe we can work out together, you know. But right now, I'm just trying to dig into this salad, you know. Look, I've never sat here and ate on camera before, so this is new to me. I got to eat cute. Well, let's try. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm eating like I'm at home. I'm at home though, you know? So, it is what it is. Yes, anybody that knows me knows I'm not for play about my food, okay? I'm not. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I don't know if you need to do a mukbang when you're hungry like this. I don't know. But I'm ready to dig in for real. I'm trying to eat cute, guys, but I don't know. I'm thirsty. I'm hungry. This is my first time eating, and it's like about, what time is it? It is almost 3 o'clock, and this is my first time eating. So I guess I am doing that intermittent fasting. I think I'm saying it right. If I'm not, let me know. But I'm doing that. But I always I've never really been a breakfast person like that. So a lot of the time I wouldn't eat until later in the day, or if I ate anything in the morning, it would be something real light in the morning, And so yeah. But guys, I want to know, I would like to be able to do advice. So in my description box, I'm going to include my email address, or anybody that is looking for advice, like on relationships, parenting, anything like that, real life issues, email me, and I will not say your name, and I will get back to you, and I will answer your questions online. Like, I'm going to turn that into a segment, an advice, a Q&A for you. You know what I mean? Because, everybody needs someone to talk to, and I've just been chilling. Like, how has your COVID situation been going, as far as in how have you been doing with, like, if you live alone, have you been okay with being by yourself a lot? Have you been by yourself a lot? Have you been staying home? Have you been out a lot? I have tried to be home, and I have been home more than not, and I'm pretty much used to it now. And I have been thinking about doing a YouTube channel, and since I have been home as much as I have, and I'm like, well, let's try it. It's no better time than the present. And that's how Monique is Joyful has started, for me. And like, it takes some getting used to being on camera, and especially talking by yourself. Like, it's one thing if you have somebody that you're talking to, that you can go back and forth with them on it, but it's different when you are just sitting in front of a camera and you're just talking to the camera, So for me, I'm getting used to it. I want to keep eating, but I'm like, who want to just sit and watch somebody eat? I mean, you do, but I'm trying to give you some vocabulary, give you some entertainment in between time of me chewing. But if you like salads, what is your favorite type of salad? Please comment below about what's your favorite type of salad. What's your favorite salad dressing? I'm going to show you my favorite salad dressing, hands down. This is my favorite. If you like French and you like honey, this is the one to try. Look, it is Ken's Steakhouse Country French. It's the bomb. I get it at Walmart. Yes, try that. If you like honey and you like French, this is like perfect. Okay, this is really the only one that I like. I've tried many other French dressings, and if it doesn't taste like this or better, I'm not really for it. You know what I mean? But that's just something I wanted to share. And I've been trying to drink more water, and this is like a 40 ounce of water, and I'm trying to get to drink at least 2 of these a day, and I've been doing okay with it. I usually drink at least 1.5 a day, so eventually I would like to get up to drinking a gallon of water. Are you drinking a lot of water? And how much water do you drink a day? If you want to share that, let me know in the comment section. And well, okay, I was watching Joyce Myers today a little bit, and basically she was talking about being content with what you have right now. Like, she was talking about someone in the Bible, and honestly I can't remember the person's name, but what she was talking about was about how this man was always building new houses and getting new servants, and no matter what he did, he was still like unhappy. And she was talking about basically enjoying what you have right now, in that moment, and not always, because material things aren't going to make you happy. I mean, it's nice to have, it's nice to have money. You need it to pay your bills and things like that, but it won't make you happy. So it'll do what it do. You can take trips on it. It'll give you the, you won't have the stress of not having money, because not having any money is stressful when it comes to paying for what you need. You know, you want to be able to take care of yourself and your family. So I get that. But like, if you're going through your days and you're thinking, man, if I only had this type of life, you know what I mean? When you're looking at someone else's life and you're trying to compare your life to somebody else's, or somebody else's material things, or you're always like, you're always looking outside yourself for fulfillment, you'll never be fulfilled like that, you know? So what I wanted to talk to you about today, one of the things, because I've been all over the place, because it's a mukbang, this is unrehearsed, this is unscripted, this is me just talking. Is just being content with where you are right now. And doing the best that you can with what you have been blessed to have right now. Because when you think about it and you look at the world overall, it's people that are living with not much at all, like without even a roof over their head, let alone without a meal, you know? And when you look at with what a lot of people are going without right now, personally, I can't help but be thankful and for all the things that God has blessed me to have in my life, and just having food, just being able to breathe on my own, to be able to think for myself, you know, to be able to get up and stand up and walk and on my own by His grace, you know. And like, just being thankful for what you have, because when you're thankful for what you have and you're thankful that you're here in the first place for your health, even if your health is not as good as it used to be, because I can honestly say my health is not as good as it used to be, but it's not as bad as it could be, you know. I'm still here, I'm here standing, I'm still able to do everything that matters to me. So I just wanted to talk about that for a minute, because it was on my mind. And just take the time to think about it, like all the blessings that you have that you might not even realize you have. And some people don't even think about it because they think it's just a given, because they've never been without. So it's like, and if you never have been without, and you don't realize that there's so many people in the world that are going without, like, their basic needs being met, you know. And you look around and you can go to your refrigerator and pick something to eat, or go to the grocery store and be able to buy whatever it is that you want. That is priceless. You know what I mean? That is priceless. Like, let alone a roof over your head, whether it's a studio apartment, even if you have to sleep on somebody else's couch right now. You know what I mean? If you work and do the best that you can and trust God, He will always provide. He will always make a way. Personally, for me, I know He's made a way out of no way for me countless times. You know what I mean? And that's why, like, I'm not trying to be a preacher, but I'm just trying to talk to you guys about how good and how awesome my God has always been to me, even in the midst of everything. Like, I've been a teen mother, you know, with one son. Like, I had him when I was 17. I got pregnant probably slightly after I turned 17, and gave birth to him while I was still 17. Like, I still had like a month and a half left before I turned 18 after he was born. And God's grace got me through high school, and my baby was at my graduation, you know. And every milestone I made as a young adult, He was there for, you know. And it's a lot of people who will tell a person that what they can't do when they find out that you are having a child and you're young. And it's like, yeah, I don't recommend it, but it happens. So I'm not going to drag a person for doing something that I wouldn't advise them to do. Like, I wouldn't have thought for myself at the age that I was. Like, I would look at shows like, there used to be this show called Geraldo. It was a talk show for anybody that's old enough to remember a show called Geraldo, where he would have different people on and talking about different topics and real life topics. And so I remember him having a show with teen moms on there, and it's like the young ladies that were on there at that time, it just seems like they didn't care and they thought it was cute to be a teen mom and just keep having babies and stuff that they really weren't taking care of. So I was like, wow, do they realize what they're giving up to have a baby at such a young age? And this is way before I was ever even having intercourse, you know what I mean? So I was already thinking, so me having a child for me was like, oh my goodness, that's probably the most memorable, scariest moment in my life that I can remember in my whole life. When I think of anything that I was more nervous to talk about or to tell my parents or to be a part of, was being a young mom. But God, though, you know what I mean? That's what I want to say. For any young mom who feels like, young mom, young dad, a person that's out here struggling, that feels like, oh my goodness, I don't know how I'm going to make it. You're going to make it. You just trust God and he will get you through every and anything. You know what I mean? Any situation. It's any situation, any of your adversity, any of your trials. It's a trial. It's going to be trials and tribulations in life. Whether it's, a trial of you thought that you would be in a certain place by a certain time in life and you're not there yet, or you're not making the money that you was hoping you would make, and you went and you got all these loans and you can't even find the job that will make it make sense for the bills that you have on your shoulders right now, but trust, even in the midst of whatever you're going through, God is real and he will provide. You got to trust him. And like for me, like I keep on going back to my being a teen mom, because I heard, a lot of people would say, well, you have messed up your life because you are about to have a child and you still a child and you don't have anything for yourself yet. I mean, yes, it's going to be a struggle. To anybody that's pregnant right now, just had a baby, that's young, and even people that's older that have kids struggle sometimes just to get used to being a parent, because being a parent is a whole different thing. So imagine when you are a young person trying to grow up yourself and you're not even there, you're not even grown mentally yet all the way yourself, but now you're trying to take care of somebody else, or you got to get your mind wrapped around taking care of another person fully yourself, you know what I mean, or as much as you can. Because I was blessed to have my parents, they helped me. Like, of course, I know my dad was disappointed. My mother, she says that she wasn't disappointed, but I can't imagine any parent that wouldn't feel a little disappointment in their child being pregnant before they even got out of high school. You know what I mean? I'm just being real. Like, if my child came home and said, well, I got a baby on the way, I would be a little disappointed, but then I couldn't stay disappointed. All I could do is, and this is what I'm also giving advice to parents who find themselves in the situation where their child come home and their teenage children, whether it's a boy or a girl, but especially a girl, because the girl is usually going to be the one that's bringing the baby to her house and that's going to be doing the day-to-day work of having that baby. You know what I mean? So I would tell them to let your child, if you feel like they are capable, if they say that they want to keep their baby, let them do it and just make them take care. I mean, let them take care of their child. You know what I mean? Just don't jump in and do everything for them. Because the one thing I can tell you about my personal situation is I have my son and then I had my son. You know what I mean? Like, I gave birth to him, and then I had him. Outside of me going to school physically, that was the only separation we had when I was when he was little. You know what I mean? Up until I think the first, like, my mother and father, they both worked, so it wasn't no you know, well, she's only 17, so we gonna keep her baby for her so she can run the streets. No, that was over. You know what I mean? And I wasn't really running the street like that when I got pregnant. I wasn't out here just doing whatever, and then it just caught up with me one day. You know what I mean? I wasn't. So what I want to say is, just let your child grow up. You know what I mean? If they say that they want to keep that child, let them keep that child. You know what I mean? If you're able to help them, then help them. But if, I mean, you know, to each his own. I can't, me personally, I'm a person that is pro-choice when it comes to whether a person decides to keep their child or not. So, because I feel like it's up to the person, with the person that's going through the pregnancy. It's their decision. They have the right to choose, because whatever you do, that's what you have to live with. Whatever you do, you know what I mean? So it's not me to say, and plus I don't know your situation. You know what I mean? I've worked with women in the clinic at a time in my life when I was in my 20s, where, you know, I saw like the side effects, or what happens after all the lust is over if you end up pregnant. You know what I mean? Like, so it's what you can live with is what you should do. Whatever feels okay in your conscience is what you should do. And everybody is not blessed to have a support system. Like, I had a support system as far as in, like, my parents helped me as far as in, they paid my grandma, and God rest her soul, when I was in high school, to watch my oldest son. So I had my oldest son in March, and I graduated at June 1st. I'll never forget. But I had him in March, so I think I went back to school probably in April, you know, probably in April. I don't think I was out of school for more than 3 to 4 weeks after he was born. And so I tried to leave him with the DNA person, you know, when he was, I asked him would he be able to watch him for me. But I came over there to pick him up where he was living to get my son, and saw that somebody was there that I had never seen, a man that I had never seen. And I just thank God that he didn't hurt my son, because he was literally a newborn. And after that day, I went and asked my grandmother, called her that same day, like, Grandma, could you watch my son? And this is my grandmother's hat. My grandmother just passed away last June 14th, 2019, and God rest her soul. I miss her so much. That's why I wear my little hat. So, like, this is not my favorite wig. You know, y'all saw my actual hair is short, so I just threw this wig on and threw the hat on, because, you know, it's not my but I liked her hat, so this is her hat that I kept. So that's why I keep wearing this little hat whenever I decide I'm gonna wear a hat on screen. Anyway, she watched my baby for me, and that's how I was able to graduate from high school. But outside of her watching him, and just, I mean, you know, I'm sorry, I done got teary-eyed. I was not expecting, I'm a crybaby, I'm sorry, but I miss her so much. That was my girl, you know what I mean? Like, anybody that's blessed to have a grandmother that is loving, she loved everybody, you know what I mean? And she was so sweet, you know what I mean? I'm thinking I want to have a mukbang, and I'm running my mouth, and look at me, I'm sitting here crying. I was crying last time I recorded myself, or about Chadwick. Now I'm crying about my grandma. So but either way, Grandma Riri, I miss you. That's my grandma. I call her Grandma, but the other kids called her, like the younger kids called her Grandma Riri, Ozella Marie. You know, I let her eat too, though. And I miss Curtis Carlisle. But I wanted to talk, like, she helped me Because if I didn't have her to watch him, I wouldn't have been able to get through high school. Because at the time they didn't have, as far as I know, there was no such thing as online classes back then. I don't think so. So that wasn't an option. So it's either you go to school or you finish later. And me, I wanted to graduate with everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, I went to school. Like, I didn't miss a day until after he was born. Like, and then I went back to school like within a month or so. And then I walked across the stage with everybody else in June 1st, the year that I graduated. And anyway, she watched him when I went to college. And I mean, my grandmother was just a huge blessing in my life. Even just talking to her and being around her. If you got a grandma, grandparents, anybody that is just a joy to be around and just full of so much love, please appreciate them, because I don't have any grandparents anymore that's alive. But I thank God for my memories of them. You know what I mean? And when I become a grandma, that is like, I hope that I can be to my grandkids what my grandmother was to me, you know, one day. So anyway, let me get back to eating. Okay, what I wanted to say is just be thankful. You know what I mean? Basically, be thankful for what you are and for where you are right now. And God will hold you. He already is holding us up, whether we realize it or not. So many people have gotten sick, died, and are living with still have illness behind catching COVID. And the fact that if you feeling good today, if you even feeling half good today, be thankful. Be thankful that you even opened your eyes today. Because somebody didn't, you know what I mean? Somebody didn't get to open their eyes one more time. So just be thankful, be grateful for where you're at right now. And it's nothing wrong with having goals and ambitions for yourself, but don't let your happiness revolve around things that can be taken away, because that's not true happiness, you know, or joy. And joy is something that the Lord gives you that can't nobody touch, you know, because that's why Monique is joyful, because I realize all that God has already done for me and what he did for me, and I'm still here. And if you hear, it's not by mistake. Nobody's life is by mistake. You know what I mean? If you made it to this planet, you have some purpose. You just have to pray on it and figure it out if you don't know what it is already. And don't let what somebody else has make you feel like you are. Don't place your value of yourself on material things, because if that's how your value is for yourself, then what will you do if it get taken away? You know what I mean? Like, will you not be the same person? Will your value drop? And me personally, I feel like a man on the street without anything isn't any less of a person than a man that's living in a castle, to just make it clear. You know what I mean? Like, we are all God's children, and it would be nice. I would love to live in a perfect world where people value each other and looked at each other as human beings instead of by titles. Some people will just live their life off of titles, and to me that is a sad situation, because what about if your title is taken? Then what are you without your title? You know what I mean? So the only title that matters to me is the title child of God. You know what I mean? That's the title that means the most to me. Outside of first, that's the first title that means the most to me. And then wife, because now I'm a wife. And then mother, because I've been a mother before. I was a mother at a young age. So I was mother before I was wife. So those roles are the roles that matter the most to me. You know what I mean? Like, when I work, I do the best that I can because I care, but other than that, you know, you just have to know that you worthy, and that, you know, this racism stuff is crazy. It's crazy because we all are human. We all human. If we wasn't all human, we wouldn't be able to procreate together. We are the same species, and I just hate that it's so much division because of stuff that shouldn't even matter. You know what I mean? Because of stupidity that's just been hatred that's been taught forever. So love yourself. I don't care what you look like, what you don't have, because what matters is what's inside. That's what counts. That's the stuff that can't be taken away, is who you are inside as a person. That's the stuff that matters. That what God gives you, that the thing that's in you, that good part of you, because I believe everybody has a good part in them. There's something good in everybody, whether they've been taught a bunch of hate, and that hate, misplaced hate, covers up the good that's inside. That's why, you know, read your Bible. Now I know Miss Davita, if you're watching, I know you want to talk, but I have been trying to read more. But I don't know, it's like whether I read my Bible on a regular basis or not, God knows your heart. You know what I mean? And I do have the desire to read more, so I'm going to try to read more about, about and learn more about him and his life and all the different stories that's in there, because it is important. Because to be honest, when I was reading my Bible on a consistent basis, I was younger, and it helped heal me, honestly, when I was going through different things in my life, like being a single mom, struggling, trying not to ask people for stuff as much as possible. You know what I mean? Because like, it was a struggle. I'm never gonna lie to anybody. Like, if you're pregnant right now and you're young and you by yourself and you're gonna have your baby, oh, it's gonna be a struggle, you know. But take that struggle and grow from that struggle. It's gonna make you appreciate when anything get easier a whole lot, because you know the struggle was real when you was out here, or while you're out here trying to do the best you can for your child. And please, or your children, please protect yourself, please, because it's worse things that can happen that could last a lifetime than being a young mom. You know what I mean? You can end up with herpes for life, end up with HPV for life. That stuff is for life. You know what I mean? So don't get, excuse me to the people who get offended easily, or if you want to keep it PG, don't get dickmatized or vagmatized out here. It's not worth it. Like, watch out. Think about your life. And for the fellas, think about your life. Think about your check. Do you want a baby mama, or do you want a wife one day? You know what I mean? And do you want to keep spreading your seed with everybody in the world? You know what I mean? And have all these kids that don't know you, you know? It's like, there's a lot going on. I'm sorry, guys. This is off the top of my head. So, it's off the top of my head. And this is my first mukbang. I'm still eating, so I'm going to stay on camera because I'm still eating. Okay? Let me step back. Let me sit back. I'll be all on the camera. I'm all on the camera, right? But one day, I know I've talked about my son, my oldest son, at least 3 or 4 times sitting on this camera. So one day he's going to join me so we could talk about things, since he's a young adult now. And we can talk about some things. He's gonna be on here one day with me. But let me drink my water. Let me see. What else do I want to say today, guys? This salad is a pop. It's a bang. It's good. I hope I'm not smacking. If I am, I apologize because it's going to be on the film. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you, I would have. My son is who introduced me to YouTube, and my sister introduced me to YouTube because I like to make things. So, like, she was like, "Well, you would like YouTube because you can learn how to do all kind of things on YouTube." And then I fell in love with YouTube, as far as in learning how to do stuff and just listening to story times. And like, one of the first people that I saw on YouTube that my son showed me is Zoe. Goddamn Zoe. Hey Zoe, if you ever check this out, hey. And he is so funny. I love Zoe, okay? Or Zoe, okay? And then Tasha K. Hey Tasha K. She is a mess. She's so funny, but she's blunt. You know what I mean? She's very blunt. I will say that. But there's so many other people that I have subscribed to under my other channel, which that I subscribe to under my other channel, or under my other profile. I'll say that. So, let me see, who else do I watch a lot? The Tea Time. I watch Tea Time. I like her. It's so many people. I can't even, like, I have over probably about 500 people that I subscribe to. So, look, it'd be nice if you, when Tasha K, Zoe, who else? So many people. Why can't I think right now? He Flawless, Zach, with the video. So many people. I need to write a list so I can send a shout out and ask them to please subscribe back to me at Monique is Joyful. Please hit that like, that share, and that subscribe, please. I hope I'm not smacking. There's so many people. But guys, I'm almost done. So this is gonna be the wrap. I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you for tuning in to my first mukbang, eating turkey salad. It was good. It was good. Okay, hold on. I'm getting the last bit. Drink some water. And I'm going to let you guys go. Have a beautiful day. Be blessed. Be safe. Thank you, joyous ones. Please hit that share button and that like and subscribe. Until the next time, have a wonderful weekend.